Hi everyone, this is the Grundig Yacht Boy 400PE World Receiver. I bought this radio at Radio Shack back in the late 90s, I believe, because there was an original version of the Yacht Boy 400 which was released around the mid-1990s. I'll say around 1994-ish, something like that. And then a few years later, they were selling this version at Radio Shack and probably mail order as well. While the internet was still young back then. But I digress. Dimensions on this radio: 7 3/4 inches length, 4 3/4 inches height, 1.5 inches depth, 2.5 inch speaker, and a 35-inch antenna, which is no longer on the radio, and I hear that was a somewhat common problem. I'm glad I'm not the only one who had that problem in which the antenna just came off. And I still have the antenna to this day, by the way. 35.5 inches. But that's okay because the AM is still usable, and even local FM stations is still usable without that antenna. Even if I don't use a external antenna like this. Not very usable on shortwave unless you have an antenna. Anyhow, the radio on the front, Grundig YB 400PE, 40 station memories. It's single sideband. Actually, this was my second ever shortwave radio. I had a DX375, but that didn't work anymore, so I had to get rid of it. But this was my second ever shortwave radio. 40 station memories, single sideband. Long wave, medium wave, shortwave, FM stereo PLL, synthesized dual conversion. And I'm going to start on the top here. There's a clock here. It's 10:57 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. There's your on-off switch here. Your button, I should say. Sleep button here. Auto button here. Your on-time button here. That's you can set your alarm with that. Time 1 and 2. Time 1 is Eastern Daylight Time, and I also set it to 0258 UTC for time 2. Now, the clock is only 24-hour clock, no AM or PM 12-hour clock. Free, you can press free to see what is your next available preset. Like if you have 20 presets set up on this, then 21 would come up as free. And then store means you can store your memories. So when the radio's on, if you're on a station that you want to save, you can press 1 and store, or 2 and store, or 3 and store, or let's say I did 20 presets and I want to set another one. I would press 21 and then store. You have your FM and AM buttons here, a reset here, a reset button like deep inside of it. You would need kind of like a pin or a thin toothpick to reset the radio if you needed to. A lock switch here that locks the radio. Your keypads here, your decimal point here, and then frequency meter button here. Your memories, you can either scroll up or scroll down your memories that you've kept in order. Auto tuning here, it'll auto tune a band within the broadcast band. And then your tuning up and down buttons, and then your step buttons. To set up the step, it defaults to 9 kilohertz. So if you ever get this radio, if you have it, just press AM while the radio's off and then step. It'll go to 9. You press it again, it goes to 10. Now while the radio's on, you can either do the normal 10 or 9 kilohertz steps, or you can press the button again and you have your 1 kilohertz steps. Or That's on AM, I should say. FM, you can't change the steps. And on shortwave, it's either 5 kilohertz or 1 kilohertz. So, what I'm going to do next is show you the side. Volume wheel here. Tone control here. Single sideband on and off here. Fine tuning here. On this side of the radio, you have your wrist strap here. Your shortwave external antenna here. Your DX and local switch here. Your stereo mono for FM switch here, which also acts as wide and narrow switch for your AM and shortwave. Your headphone jack. You can put a DC adapter here, 9 volts. On the top, where the antenna used to be, your snooze button and your light button here. The light doesn't work that great. It barely shines even in the dark. So, it wasn't a very good light. And then, in the back, frequency chart here. Here are all the ranges for FM, medium wave, long wave, short wave, and even the separate meter bands starting with 90 meter all the way down to 10 meters. The kickstand is here. It's a map of the world with the time zones. And then here you put your 6AA batteries, sold separately. Oh, and some ventilation here. So, what I'm going to do first, I saved about 20 presets, memories for shortwave, and that's what I'm going to do when I turn on the radio. I'm going to go to shortwave first. I'm not going to do a full scan, I just wanted to show you what the shortwave was about. That's CHU in Canada. That's a single sideband channel, 4005. Very neat.
That was left behind by
This is like Holocaust denial, because they say that I'm denying Sandy Hook, which I'm not. They just edit tapes together and take out of context. It's crazy.
Your attention, please. The WWD audio signal is available by telephone. The audio signal heard on the WWD radio broadcast is available by telephone, including call time. Time hold.
Scientists that I worked with went to the United Nations and presented this material.
I guess that station's off the air for now.
Classmates had been drinking and turned up the music in the room they were in to drown out the sound of the woman's protests, and that Kavanaugh covered her mouth with his hand.
And when the sacrifice was offered on the Day of Atonement, it was an atonement or a covering for all the sins of the people and all of the tribes for the whole year.
Claro que sí, porque la Santa Cruz de nuestra salvación. 121 municipalities between September 7th and 11th, and has a market.
湾自在见幸福，个过程，一个故事里面。
安全保障理事会は今月初め
Research poll, however, shows Bolsonaro in the lead of the presidential election.
This one's barely coming in this hour. I guess some of these stations went off the air at 11 p.m. But that's an example. Shortwave's not too bad. Maybe it's just where I live, where the shortwave at times can get rather weak. But I've seen better shortwave performance than this. I mean, my Radio Shack does better than this. My Radio Shack single sideband radio that I have. But still holds up to this day. Now, I'm going to go briefly to FM. Reception report for FM. Got about 4 dozen stations using this external wire, so it's not bad. Pretty good. I'm just going to key in a few stations here. See how well this really does. Let me check. I'll check 97.5. WALK, Patchogue, New York, 60 miles. Let me try 99.1 next.
Messages in the tiniest of creatures. And a mentor friend of mine said, you know, Sadie, what passion does.
Star 99.1, WAWZ, Zarephath, New Jersey, 31 miles. I'll try 99.9. Actually, I'm going to scroll up.
Which I understand to some extent, but he keeps coming back to me and wanting me to be in his life.
WEZN, Bridgeport, Connecticut, 55 miles. I'll try 101.5 next. There's another thing about this radio. Sometimes you have to go up, slightly up the dial to get something. Like, I hardly get anything on 101.5. If I go up slightly, you can somewhat hear it. That happens to this radio a lot. That's WKXW, New Jersey, 101.5, Trenton, New Jersey, 54 miles. And I'm going to try 107.9. Yeah, barely coming in, but that's WEBE, Westport, Connecticut, 46 miles. And just for old time's sake, I'm going to key in a local station. Couple of them. I'll key in 98.7, ESPN Radio, New York City.
I expect them, you know what, Artie? Thanks for the phone call, my friend. I expect them to win too. And part of the reason is because I believe
WEPN, New York City, ESPN Radio, 98.7, and one more, 101.9.
Part of this, and we'll see how he handles all that. Sounds of the Game also brought to you by Route 4 Paramus Hyundai, go4hyundai.com. We're back with
WFAN FM, New York City, Sports Radio 66 and 101.9 The Fan. And that's it for FM. I mean, 4 dozen stations is pretty good for this radio. So, it performs fine. It probably performed better with the 35-inch antenna. But that's it for FM. I'm going to go to AM next now. There is a long wave band, but I never get anything on it for some reason. See, this is all you hear. See, just a bunch of noise. And then, I'm not going to do a full band scan here. I think I will do a separate AM band scan because, let me tell you, it performs well for AM. It definitely performs. I mean, I tried this during the day. It did real well, and even at night it did real well. Now, of course, it's 11 o'clock at night, so I think what I'm going to do is just use the AM a little bit, not much. I'll start with 5:30 AM.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. I sense God doing something special for you. Praise God. Hallelujah. Glory to God. There's a premiere.
Like this station, I actually get this station on this radio, WLW 700 Cincinnati, Ohio, which is 561 miles. Now, I'm going to try 1530, which is another Cincinnati station.
Whereas Lincoln Raiders team is a playoff contender. John Gruden's going to have that thing going right there.
Yep, this is WCKY, also Cincinnati, 561 miles, and they're both coming in well. Let me try 700 again. There's a little bleed from WR 710, but that's common. And on 720, WGN in Chicago's trying to come in. And that's 702 miles. I will be doing a full AM band scan, only because I think this video would do it injustice if I did. I just want to show you a few examples, that's all. I'm going to key in 1080. WTIC, Hartford, Connecticut, 100 miles.
24 hours a day at the top of every hour, 365 days per year. WBAL News Radio. That's
WBAL, Baltimore, Maryland, 167 miles.
Is in Elyria. Ken, what's going on? You're on WTAM 1100. It's the Extra Innings postgame show.
WTAM, Cleveland, Ohio, 394 miles.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I am of the understanding that not only has President Trump
WBT, Charlotte, North Carolina, 533 miles. I want to see what's on 1120. No, it's barely coming in. But the station I usually get on 1120 is WBNW from Concord, Massachusetts, which is 183 miles, and it's only 1,000 watts. For some reason, I don't get KMOX. For some reason, I don't get KMOX. That would be over 800 miles, and that's a station I really don't get. I mean, maybe I would get it, but... But yes, that's the 1120 I get. I'm going to move up the dial a little bit to 1500 AM. WFED, Washington, D.C., 204 miles. Now, when I tuned in after midnight last night, I was getting a mix of two stations, and one of them was indeed WLAC in Nashville, Tennessee, which is 755 miles. I don't seem to be getting that right now. Doesn't look like it's coming in, but that's what I got last night.
Stress management and so much more. Feel great and look great in mind, body, soul, and spirit every Saturday morning at 9:30 with Robbie Raw.
WWKB, Buffalo, New York, 280 miles. Then, of course, there's WCKY again.
He absolutely made a brilliant score. In Class 1A and rank number 8,
Now, this is a tricky one, because last night I actually got 77 WABC trying to creep in a little. As you know, 770 times 2 equals 1540. Sometimes that could be a problem with this radio.
Largest land position in the legendary
That's WABC, and I hear a little bit of it on 1540. See that? So it's very hard to get the other 1540s on this frequency. And I think I'm going to do a couple more. I'll do 1690. No, it's hardly coming in. Let me see. I wanted to try one more station. I'm going to try 1410. That is CJWI, Montreal, Quebec, Canada, 323 miles, 10,000 watts. The only Montreal station I can get, actually, but I just wanted to show you how good this radio. I'll do full band scans on AM and FM in the coming days or weeks, but I just wanted to show you this radio just to see how good this is, especially on AM. FM's pretty good. Shortwave is okay, depending on the antenna, depending on how far you reel in the antenna. It probably work better outside, but there's really nowhere outside I can hook it onto, so I just have to hook it across 2 rooms in the house. That's how I get the shortwave external antenna to work. But that's it. I just wanted to show you what this Grundig Yacht Boy 400p can do. So, I hope everyone has a great weekend. Hope you enjoyed this video, and God bless. Bye-bye.